In this video, we are going to be creating manifestation art. You might also consider these things like vision boards or dream boards. So what we're intending with this exercise is to create something that represents, is symbolic of the visions that we have for our future, coming from what we've learned, maybe from even looking at our past through some of those other exercises that we've done together. I want to start by describing the way that I approach the creation of these manifestation boards, dream boards, vision boards. I read a wonderful book a number of years ago now, written by a woman named Florence Scovel-Shinn. The name of the book is called The Game of Life and How to Play It. One of the things I love about this book is it was written in 1925. And Florence Scovel-Shinn also wrote a few other books afterwards, up until the year 1932, I believe. She also was an artist, and she taught workshops on her concepts of learning to live life as a game and understanding universal law. So she described the idea of a fulfilled human life, a perfect fulfilling life, as the perfect square. And she represented that with 4 different elements that work for us as well. I go ahead and placed this on our board, and I'm going to describe this for you. This will be the base that we create from. So she has 4 different categories that she uses, and I'm going to start here at the top with the word wealth. This category is going to be about our finances, also other resources as well. This could be something that is actual money that we have in the bank or money we need to pay for things, but it can also be the way that our needs are met through gifts or exchange with others as well. I'm going to come down to the bottom, and we have health. Health to me encompasses that whole self picture. So we're talking about physical health, emotional health, mental health, and even taking care of ourselves from an energetic standpoint. Then I'm going to come over here to the side, and we have love. Love is first and foremost to me starting with that self-care love, the way that we take care of ourselves, which also allows us to have more fulfilling and loving relationships with others, like romantic partners, family members, maybe children, and even friends. And the final category on this side is self-expression. And self-expression can be some of the things that we're doing here, like expressing ourselves through art. I often enjoy writing as well, and some people may enjoy singing or dancing. But self-expression can be too just the way that you share of yourself and your resources with others and the projects that you're compassionate about in life. So we're going to use these 4 categories to create our vision boards. And I've brought an example for you. Actually, I've brought 2 examples for you today. First, though, I want to show you, I have some supplies here. Of course, I've got my colored pencils, and I've got some markers and pens. I've also got some scissors, a nice set there. I brought tape. You could use glue, of course, too, if you want something more permanent. Sometimes I switch things in and off of my board, so that's why I have the tape. And then I just collect things. So sometimes I get things in the mail that have a neat picture on it that I like. For example, I got this little card, and this woman is in a cool yoga pose, and yoga is one of my practices, so maybe I might use that at some point. This was some affirmations that were really special that someone gave me. So I'll save those, and I might cut out pieces, or I might actually write them myself onto the board that I'm creating. And then I keep magazines. I get a National Geographic subscription. So I've kept this family one to pull some things out because I want to manifest some neat trips with my family. I also make jewelry sometimes, so I've got a catalog that has some cool inspiration. Every once in a while, I'll cut some things out of there, and other things as well that you might keep. If you're doing this with a group too, if you want to do this with your friends together, it can be a lot of fun. Maybe you all contribute different things, or even ask for others to loan you some things that they're finished with. So I have an example that is the way that I usually do my boards. I'm going to show you an entirely different way in a moment. So as you can see, I make mine a bit of an art project because that's what I love. So I have this picture in the background that is me down at the bottom, just a silhouette sitting in celebration and peace and joy at a beautiful location under a tree with a sunset. This is a manifestation of that beautiful health part of my life for me. I'm also working currently on a scuba certification, so I've got some picture of the underwater fish, just looking forward to the day that I'll be able to swim with them officially. I also find affirmations and save them, or quotes that really speak to me. And over here I have one that talks about self-care. Be ruthless for your own well-being by Holly Butcher. And I found that reading an article that she had written. Over here I have another health-related one. I'm working on some goals with running. And I just loved this statement. We think it's time for you to thrive. Some more affirmations here. One's called Manifest a Miracle, Angel's Influence. I have this great $100 gold plated bill that someone gave me. This is speaking to my finances and how I want to invite in my highest and best good for me in my life, the prosperity for me. I've got a small picture here of a mom and son in Paris in front of the Eiffel Tower. So I have boys, and I thought that was a great one to manifest a cool European trip for us. Travel is huge for me, so you'll see a lot of that on my boards. And the flower here is also looking to create a trip to Hawaii. I've always wanted to go there, and that's one that I'm looking forward to as well. So you can see this is one way to do it. The categories here are not clearly stated, but it is there. And it means a lot to me. Now I want to show you another way that's a little more of a linear way of doing things. And this is actually one of my son's vision boards. So we make these usually every 6 months or so. And so he's about due for a new one. What I think is great about this is what he did is he took different categories that were important to him and wrote some goals that he had in them. And it's really fun because as I read them, he's actually fulfilled a lot of the goals on here. So I guess it's about time for him to update those and maybe put some new things in place. So this is another way to take the idea. You could make very simple squares and categories and do it that way and just list the things that you are looking for in your life on your vision board, very simply. And I'm sure that you're going to find many other ways to do this project. So the goal is really just to maybe look at those 4 categories as a starting point, see what you'd like to create in your life in those areas, and put it in words or picture onto something that you could then maybe hang in your house, just like we talked about with the affirmations. Really powerful just to hang it, see it, put it in your mind occasionally, as you watch and see those things begin to come into fruition.